Benoit Saint Denis released a statement on his loss to Renato Moicano over the weekend. He posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "Not my day. This sport is hard but amazing. Thank you all for your unwavering support. Proud to represent France in the octagon at home. Respect to my opponent for facing me at home, and congratulations to him. God puts challenges in our path, and this one is nothing compared to what I've experienced." Renato left a comment. He wrote, "Huge respect, brother. You're a warrior." Sean Strickland says that Alex Pereira will make easy work of Khalil Rountree. Speaking to Helen Yee, Sean said, "I watched him fight Anthony Smith. I just can't see it happening. I don't think he has the tools in the toolbox to beat Alex. He's not knocking him out. He's not out striking him. He's not out wrestling him. I think Alex is going to make easy work of this f***ing guy." Khalil Rountree has achieved his dream of being on a UFC billboard.
When I decided to start training mixed martial arts, 19 to 20, when I would have to drive to the gym, 300 pounds, still smoking cigarettes, still depressed, I would have to drive down the 15, and I'd always see the UFC billboard. That was a part of my motivation to stay dedicated to MMA and to changing my life and to have something to even look forward to in this city. This city, at the time, for me growing up as a youth, there wasn't a lot of opportunity. There wasn't anything going on here that gave us a reason to dream. We didn't know what to do. You know, like we didn't have colleges, and we didn't walk the streets, and we didn't have people who were like, "Oh yeah, this is a lawyer." We didn't have things that a lot of other cities do have, because Vegas is just a very different city. People come here to gamble and things like that. Being a young kid from here, I'd imagine that at the time that I was growing up, it's pretty hard to know what you want to do or what you want to be. So I think that, and I'm very thankful for the UFC, because when I saw that, it gave me hope. I would always tell myself, like, one day I'm going to be on that billboard, and then when I'm driving down, I'm going to see myself there. And then things started happening, and I stayed towards that vision, and then I got into the Ultimate Fighter, and then I remember one of the challenges was right next to the billboard in the Palace Station and like the dunk tank, and I'm just like, okay, I'm getting closer. You know, I'm getting closer to what I said I'm going to do. One day I'm going to be on that billboard. One day I'm going to be on that billboard. So I think that, it would mean a lot, man. It would mean a lot, because then that would mean that 20-year-old suicidal, just depressed guy who needed something to look forward to, I would see that, and that kind of, it hits a certain spot. You know what I mean? And I get to and I get to look back and be like, I did it. You know? I did it.
Wow. Look at that. I'm so excited. This is crazy. I made it. Finally here. Where the dream, the seed was planted, and look. Oh. Wow. Let's go.
Kamaru Usman thinks Khalil Rountree is going to beat Alex Pereira and shock the world at UFC 307.
I think I'm going to shock everybody here. I think you're wrong while you saying everyone just stands and strikes with him and they lose. I think you're wrong. I think Khalil Rountree shocks the world.
Knocks him out.
Shocks the world. I think
okay, knocks him out.
We are in a time right now that we have look
Utah's crazy. Utah's crazy.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes. Utah.
You're right.
Crazy things happen in Utah. And look at our champions right now. So I think Khalil Rountree is extremely explosive, extremely powerful. His Muay Thai is incredible. When he's launching them, he gonna find your face. That the problem is his pacing. When Khalil lets go, he lets everything go. And how is he going to do in round 3, 4, and 5 if the fight somehow gets there? That's my only concern. But in those first 2 rounds, I'm telling you right now, Khalil Rountree is as dangerous as anybody that Alex Pereira has fought. I'm telling you right now.
Renato Moicano has a lot of respect for Conor McGregor. However, he thinks waiting for a fight with him like Michael Chandler did is a trap.
McGregor, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he's fighting Manny Moicano.
Is McGregor an easy fight?
If you ask me that a couple years ago, I would say so. But to be honest, one of the fighters that I respect most in the game is McGregor, because he completely changed the game. So I will pay my respect to him just because now he's almost a billionaire. So he can have, I don't know, 200 losses and he'll still be McGregor. So he's not fighting anybody, I think. Of course, if they offer me, but I would not wait for fight McGregor, because like Chandler, it's just a trap right now. I think McGregor makes more money outside fighting, so I don't think he wants to go to a cage to somebody that is ready to kill somebody for money, you know? I'm ready to kill somebody for money, so I don't think he wants that.
Michael Chandler says he actually has no ill will towards Conor McGregor, despite waiting out for him for 2 years and never getting the fight. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, Chandler said, "I don't blame him for anything. I really don't. The outsiders can look and say, man, he must hate Conor. Conor did this to him. Conor did that to him. The UFC did this to him. I did all this myself. At any given time, I could have jumped off the train and said, UFC, let me fight someone else. At any given time, I could have said, I'm done with this. At any given time, I could have said no to obligations and just changed course. I put myself in this position. It's a position that I wanted to be in. It was a decision that I made. Do I want to punch Conor in the face and beat him and get my hand raised? Absolutely. But I want to do it in the confines of competition, and we will do it at some point. No ill will whatsoever. I caused this. I chose this path. This path is now leading me to November 16th and the biggest fight of my life. December was definitely the cutoff, but also we were talking about June with a broken pinky toe, which is a 6-week injury. Get back in there, put a 2-month training camp in, and you're good. We should have been able to fight by August, September, October. Immediately when it sounded like it wasn't going to be in December, I was like, hey boys, I'm going to go bet on myself. I'm going to roll the dice. You've got Conor tweeting saying, give me my date. I want to come back at this time. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight. I'm ready to get back in there. But then his social media shows something else. Are you a guy that can be relied upon? Are you a guy that's taking it as seriously as your opponent? When you look at the way I live my life, you look at the way that Charles lives his life, you look at the way Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje and all these guys are in this sport, you see the way that we train, you see the way that we live our lives. We are fighters, and that is our #1 priority in our professional lives. It doesn't look like that is the truth for Conor. I don't have any regrets, because this is the way it was always supposed to happen, I guess. You could always look back and have 20/20 vision and say, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have worked out differently. I'm at peace with where I am. I'm 59 days away from fighting Charles Oliveira in a #1 contender fight as the co-main event to Jon Jones' last fight ever, Stipe Miocic's last fight ever, at the world's most iconic arena. It's not the Conor fight, but it sure is a heck of a consolation prize. No regrets. Here we go. Bryce Mitchell is eager to fight. Bryce is currently coming off the brutal knockout loss to Josh Emmett this past December. On Jake Shields' podcast, Bryce names potential next opponents.
So yeah, you haven't fought in a minute. Do you have anything in the works, or you probably can't really talk about that yet, right?
Definitely in the works, but no date, no opponent. But, you know, I've talked with the guys, especially Hunter Campbell. Even Sean has said something about, hey, it's coming up soon. Don't know when. I mean, not like the next couple weeks or nothing, but next couple months it should be going down.
A lot of guys want to watch you fight because you're exciting style, plus you're controversial. You say what's on your mind, which not a lot of guys do. That makes it exciting. Who would you want to fight right now?
Shoot, all of them. I want to fight them all, brother. If I had to pick, it would be, you know, Topuria, Diego Lopez, Evolov. Yeah, that'd be top 3 I'd want to fight.
Yeah, all kinds of good fights. Excited for you to get back in there. I mean,
Me
it's
too.
Exciting division, right? And
yeah.
And you're an exciting character. It's funny. People enjoy people that speak their mind and are a little bit different.
Yeah, there's, you know, I'm just looking forward to it. I don't even care who. I'm not attached to one particular opponent. I have my favorites, but I will literally take whoever.
Julianna Pena believes she can lure Amanda Nunes out of retirement. Julianna is scheduled to fight Raquel Pennington for the belt at UFC 307. Speaking to MMA Junkie, Julianna said, I'm hoping Amanda will want to come out of retirement, and I'm betting she will be there, and she'll be watching very intently. I don't believe that she is truly as done as she claims that she is. I think that she misses the sport. I think that she doesn't know what to do with herself now that she's not fighting. And I think there will be a little green, envious monster in her saying, I can go back there. I could do this. Her thinking she can beat me. I know she probably feels that she doesn't have anything to prove against me. I know that she is not particularly fond of Kayla, more than she is not fond of me. But my goal will be to get Amanda back inside the octagon with me. And that will be the biggest women's fight in UFC history. Tom Aspinall posted a Q&A to his TikTok today. Tom gave his prediction for Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic.
Not sure if Tom sees the comments, but I honestly believe Stipe beats Jones. Who do you believe wins?
I would probably edge a bit more towards Jon, just because he's younger and a little bit fresher. But I wouldn't be surprised if Stipe won as well. I think people are writing him off a lot. Me sometimes included in that. I think that Stipe's definitely got a chance, but I would definitely favour Jon, but I wouldn't be surprised if Stipe won.
If Jones and Stipe retire, who would you like to fight next?
If them two retire, which I think's quite likely, but I don't know, you never know. I think it only makes sense to fight the winner of Volkov and Gan.
Who was your favourite fighter to watch in the UFC growing up?
GSP, easy question, very easy question.
Favourite UFC event you've ever watched as a fan?
Ooh, that's good. I really enjoyed UFC 300. I was there live. I was cage side, octagon side for UFC 300, so the atmosphere in there, in that T-Mobile arena for UFC 300 was unbelievable, so I'd say that.
What's your favourite cheat meal to have?
Oh, I love pizza, I love burgers, I love milkshakes. Pizza or a burger, probably.
What makes you happy?
You know what makes me happy is just like setting goals and achieving them, working towards them. I like the process. It's not even so much achieving the goal, obviously that's good, but I like the process of having a big scary goal to strive towards and going towards that.
Renato Moicano and Dan Hooker went back and forth on X. It started with Renato posting this. He wrote, "F France. They taxed me very high." Hooker replied, "What percentage did you get taxed at?" He followed up with, "Wasn't that your excuse for ducking me in Perth?" Renato replied, "They didn't offer the fight, but easy problem to solve. Title fight eliminator in Vegas December." Hooker replied, "100% they offer me a title shot off beating you. It's a done deal." The heated back and forth between Merab and Umar Nurmagomedov continues. Merab posted this to X. He wrote, "Umar, now not only are you disrespectful, you are a liar. If UFC offered you to fight with me 2 times, show the fans the contract and the dates. They offered me to fight you right after I beat Petr Yan with a broken hand in 6 weeks. I accepted the fight verbally, even though I was the #1 contender and you were ranked number 13, and even with a broken hand. Ultimately, the doctor said no to this, and I had surgery. So let's see the contract of the second offering. So if the UFC is gifting you the title defense, what the f are you trash talking and with disrespect? I'm done with you now because you keep lying. You lost my respect as a man and a martial artist. I will now wait to hear from the UFC." Umar replied, "Is that the same injury you were ready to fight Corey with? I am just basing this on the manager's words. Since prehistoric times, no one cares about the respect of cowards." He followed up with posting this picture of him and Khabib. He wrote, "Merab doesn't have any other options. His only choice is to fight with me. I'm the next contender to fight for the UFC Bantamweight Championship." Alex Pereira appears to be having a good time during fight week in Salt Lake City. Alex did an interview with Helen Yee and says that he agrees with Dana White that Jon Jones is the GOAT of MMA. Alex said, "Well, right now being active, Jon Jones. Like Dana White says, he's the man." Alex also gave his take on Dana White announcing that he will be getting involved in boxing recently. Alex said, "Absolutely, I want to express my will to go to boxing one day, and I think that this partnership of the UFC and boxing is a very good thing going for the sport. Many boxers say that MMA fighters cannot go toe-to-toe with boxing. Alex believes that not only him, but many other MMA fighters could do that too. And definitely he will love to go to boxing if Dana White goes. Just give me the opportunity to fight and show my potential." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one says, "Ha, I have no life." The second one says, "The fact that Renato fought 3 weeks out from that much of a severe injury just shows how much he wants this. Give him all the money. Gotta support these fighters who are willing to die out there instead of pulling out because of a stubbed toe." And the final one says, "Sean is a grown man acting like a teenager bully. It tells you some people don't grow up." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.